Let's welcome our host Sir Alberto Abira aka Tata.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome again to this show that we will be taking care all of anything or nothing at all, but we have to be visible in this usual program of this COVID-19, and we will about to say goodbye as the President of the Philippines says that the Philippines is fast recovering for this pandemic, hopefully sooner than everybody expected. But so whatever they say, we'll watch and see. So as usual, we'll start everything normal because it is the best day to start in any endeavor that will be taking care or encountering sooner or later that we will be receiving or giving. In any case, the life has to go on. So here we are. Of course, I received this a press release that it happens only in Canada. It's happening only in Canada. This concerns the retirements, pension, and the versus the refugees allowances given by Canadian government. I don't know. This must be released a long time ago, but. Maybe most of us haven't received this because it is interesting to know that the federal government of Canada allows a monthly pension of $1,890 to a single refugee plus $580 in social aid, a grand total of $2,470 monthly. If you will multiply that in 1 year times 12, that would become around 20,920 annually in income of a refugee. By comparison, the old age pension of a senior citizen who has contributed to the development of our beautiful big country during 40 or 50 years cannot receive more than amount monthly is $1,000 only and $12 in old pension and guaranteed income. Supplement times 12, that will be around 12,144 annual income, a difference of 16,776 for a refugee. So this is a very, very thought-provoking statement. You have to ponder why this refugee has more privilege than those who have already worked for 40 or 50 years of their life being a contributor of this economic of Canada. Let us ask our representative or MP, a member of our parliament, why is this? Why the refugees, especially coming from Europe, is receiving more than those person like the seniors who have contributed their hard-earned money by paying taxes for the past 40 years or 50 years cannot be the same, or why they have to be so big difference is refugee is more important than those people who are already work here in Canada for almost all of their life, working for 40 years. Like myself, I have done that. But how much I receive? So I think we have to talk to our member of parliaments, because we cannot just be barking around the corner. I'm sure they notice that, but if we will not complain, it is not me only, the citizens who are receiving these things. Okay, you young generation maybe, well, it's not you, it's the seniors, but they are your parents. Because if they could do that to us, who retired for almost 20 years already, but no improvement in our pension, this could also happen to you. So that is why they are encouraging us to be a part of the decision making. Because if we are just a bystanders, so we will just be satisfied of what they will give to us. So it's about time to speak up. So if you want the hard copy, I have it here, but this is already circulated all over, but nobody is considering their situation to take effect, or many changes at least for our status seniors. So young generation, help us so this could help be extended to you when you reach your retirement age. So for that, for now, we could just bark and bark, but we have to get in touch with your help, young generations. So life has to go on. So as a member of this several community organizations, I have been, in fact, I have been inducting officers like FAMAS, of course, 3 times, and the seafarers almost 4 times, the Kapampangan, the Batangueños, of course, 1 time the seniors, and the federation under Nestor Embas. So, but still, I'm just an ordinary person like you, who is also just making life paycheck to paycheck, because I'm just a ordinary taxpayer that receive the minimum in order for me to survive. So, what can I do? I could go home in the Philippines and plant kamote, but I selected to be here, so this is how it is. So we are just waiting and receiving at the mercy of our lawmakers. So that is what some politicians are asking here for us Filipinos, especially here in Quebec, because in other parts of Canada, it's all right that there are already Filipino parliamentarians, but of course we are minority. Whatever we want to bring to the parliament, it has to be heard and has to be lobbied to get a vote of majority. So until such times come, we will do our routine as ordinary citizens and law-abiding, so we have to do our job as usual. And so being as usual citizen, we have to get survive and take the adventure and the consequences, and of course the benefits that is given to us. So that's how it is. So the best thing we could ask is enjoy, because that's what we have. Because you don't lose anything if you have not, if you don't have it. You could only lose your interest when you are getting tired of watching all these things time and again, and no improvement, no matter how much you cry, how much you us, but it's totally different because you have to accept it. You are an Asian, especially we Filipinos, that we have to endure and be willing to do the task in order to survive because we have our family to support, not only on ourselves, but we have to share to our family, because how could you be happy if your family is in need of some material things that you have and they don't? Of course, that bleeds your heart. So, but all we do is strive more and more. And lucky for us, our body is built for hardship. And no matter what, we will survive it because we believe in our independence and self-supporting and endurance to any hardship that we'll be encountering time and again. And we do have survived. So thank God that Filipinos here in Canada is not waiting for handouts. We are very energetic and very enterprising because I have my experience that because like for example some newcomers of Filipinos, or especially those who have not legal papers, they needed only a week in order to have their own settlement and very creative. The Filipinos are very enterprising. They may have nothing to, when they first showed up to your doorsteps, but gave them a week. They are very enterprising. They could find themselves a shelter. They could find themselves a job. So the important thing is they have something to start with. We Filipinos who are here, don't be shy. Don't be so proud. Extend a helping hand. I have done that several times, and I have made those people started their own life. I don't give anything, but my spiritual guidance and giving shelter for a week or two, or some have stayed for a year, but eventually they are not the difference in the community. They are become an assets, and most of them now, I'm very proud to say that they are all established community members and families they brought in and have settled the communities, and they are a good taxpayer which contributed to the welfare of the nations of Canada as a taxpayer. So, we extensions of our helping hand is a paramount for everybody to start with, because if you are new to the place, you need some guidance. You have to sow the sick, and if you are there, extend hand. Don't be shy. And worst, don't expect returns because you will get disappointed. Returns will come to you in other forms. Number one, your health and satisfaction is the good returns that you have extended help. So let's do it. I have to acknowledge StreamYard. Live view. Okay. La Esperanza 23. 23. Okay. Jenna Saito. Welcome, Jenna. You are very attentive and have a patience in listening to me every day. Thank goodness you are there all the time. So, if you don't want to express yourself, or you don't want to share ideas, or you don't have any other questions, fine. So long as you are there, I'm happy for you to be sitting there and watching and smiling and maybe laughing at my stammering statements, good enough. So the important thing is we are sharing because if you don't share ideas, I could share your laughter because not of what you like, but maybe because anything that you could amuse you is already part of your satisfaction of watching and smiling. Good enough. So here we go. So that is my first subject to tackle with. And this afternoon, if other organizations have a good excuse of not pursuing the objectives of the organization, I could give you a good example that the heritage headed by our chairman Al Abdon, we are happy that we never cease to exist, we never cease to continue the objectives of the organization. Communication is always going on. We hold meetings, exchange ideas, organize activities without an excuse of just because of the pandemic, because of the restraining or the protocol order of the observance of the pandemic that indoors has to be isolated or ourselves. Yes, we have to also that, but there is always a way, and ways if you have initiative will be taken that some modern techniques and technologies that being observed and practiced nowadays will substitute to your fear and excuses that because of the pandemic you will be stop serving your community. I know that is not a good excuse because what they say, kung may gusto may paraan, kung ayaw may dahilan. So that is the saying of Filipino, but it is really effective. And okay, I have to acknowledge Sinchang. Hello, Tata Bert and everyone. So that's coming from Sinchang. Okay. And Kaping Barako, welcome Iho. So, welcome Iho. Hello, Tata Bert. Good evening. Stay safe. Always. I am always safe because nowadays, every week, maybe I only go out once every 2 days because I have to take a walk. But if the weather permits, but with this inclement weather, freezing and slippery, the farther I could go is only up to Banhorn if there is any in need of groceries. Otherwise, I stay home, watch TV, and of course, I'm busy with the computer, making this games. It's good enough. I have to amuse myself. But other than that, physically, I'm always have my exercise. I have to perspire. I have to make my jogging while watching TV. In place jogging is good also help because I don't have to go to the gym to exercise because if you have initiative, you could always think of something else in order to perform your duties and to keep yourself healthy. Of course, because when you are locked at your house, your tendency is to open the fridge. The fridge and everything is there because food is always there. Because lucky for me too, being a senior, I also received some food stuff not from the Filipino community, but the Jewish community. Of course, because some Filipinos, they also distribute food, but only to their, of course, colleagues and friends, because because they don't have that much to share. So for me, since I have seniors, that's what the doctor says. The less you eat, the better for you, because your digesting machine is already getting slowed down. So, but little gasoline to put in, so long it will be running, not too fast, not too slow, but normally you will be staying for quite a while if you know how to take care of yourself. So you don't have to ask any professional for that. Simple things will make a simple life and make you happy and contentment. That is the avoid worries, because don't try to solve the problem of the world. Don't try to solve peace and order, because you have your own problem. So especially, of course, financial is always number, but that's a part of life. As what they say, a man without a problem is a dead person, because you have a very talented mind that has to keep working to make ideas and exchange the beautiful things in the world, to appreciate and take advantage of the beauty that surrounds you. Look at it, appreciate it, and share. That is the basic requirements for community relationship between persons.
Good evening, Tata Bert.
Good evening.
Kumusta ang araw mo?
Well, this afternoon we have a very fruitful meeting with the Heritage.
Kwentuhan mo naman kami, ang sipag-sipag ng chairman mo.
Yes, of course. It's that, because that is one requirement. You strive for it, so that means you are qualified for it. So you have to. Some people will just run for politics for the title. So just like okay, we don't go too far for that. Like farmers, they have to work hard in order to get some even buy boats according to them, but which I doubted that, because
So anong klaseng fruitful ang nangyari sa conference?
because why it's fruitful? Because everybody is happy, because everybody understood what's happening, everybody satisfied with the financial report, because we don't make any activities, but there is still some amount that in case of the needs of this organization arises, we have always there, because we don't have to run to the community for begging for funding or what. But because our activities, everybody is paying attention. Everybody share the work, share the hardships, share the.
Sabi mo nga kung anong association yung pinag-uusapan natin na fruitful yung meeting nyo ngayon.
Because it all depends on the objectives of the organization.
Anong association ang pinag-uusapan natin para malaman ng viewer?
As a whole, because every organization has different objectives. Every organization has different objectives. Like for example, the seniors, you don't expect them to do all the civic organization because they are seniors. So all they did is just getting together and making everybody keeping healthy, the exercising and smiling and doing some routine leisure entertainment among themselves. Like, for example, the sports and the tennis, of course, they have to do the objective as to play sports and train the youth. And of course, if you happen to be in the farmers is a broad objectives, because farmers have to maintain the communities, get informed about the happenings of the surrounding happening between government and the communities, association to association. It's so wide the range of responsibilities. So it all depends on what kind of association you have, because you cannot expect UPS or the senior organization to be the working or like of the heritage or the federation.
Tata Bert, anong association tong nag-meeting na fruitful kanina na sinasabi?
Because being fruitful, that
Anong association?
this is the heritage.
Okay. Para maintindihan nila. Nag-meeting kayo ng heritage kanina o
Yes, because
anong nangyari?
Because we have the agenda is the upcoming third anniversary of the organization. So this coming March and April, or so.
Anong position mo sa Heritage Society ngayon?
Because when an organization,
anong position nyo?
Because the position, I am just a vice chairman.
Vice chairman, okay. Vice chairman, okay. Copy. Sige, go ahead. Anong plano natin sa sa anniversary?
So, anniversary, we will be planning of the cultural presentation, because this is Canada, that Canada is willing to support and finance an organization that will be contributing for the enrichment of the culture of Canada. Say Canada being multiculturalism, so all ethnic contributions of their culture or presentation, Canada is willing to finance.
So ano yung mga plano na nailatag? Ano yung plano na nakahanda ngayon na gagawin?
So, as we have done in the previous years, Canada have shared the cultural presentation that the other ethnic also is doing. So they also get funding from the federal government and the Ethnic Society of Canada. So the Heritage Canada has the funding of the government, that the Heritage Department is the one supervising or making the allotment to any required expenses of the presented projects of any ethnic group that will contribute to for the expansion and the development of culturalism, multiculturalism of Canada-wide. So that's why only Philippines has given a month, Heritage Month, which is June. So if ever you have activities to enrich the cultural presentation to a culture that will contribute for the expansion of this Heritage Canada, there will be funding so long as you could present a good project that worth subsidizing by the heritage. So you have to create and make a presentation in order to get funding. Not some organizations will just ask for funding.
So, Tata Bert, meron tayong funding na in-applyan o makukuha sa darating na anniversary?
Yes, of course. Every year we have. Because we presented, and it is written, it is already, we have this overall program to support the activities we have. So, all you have to do
may funding ba tayong makukuha galing sa government? Support?
Yes, the heritage, yes, they will get some funding because there is a project. Okay. But everybody will just be expecting a funding without presentation of the activities. There's no funding.
Saan kayo magtatanghal ng inyong anniversary?
As usual, any venue that is available, because we don't have the building, so we will be looking for a space that will be available, especially the 6767, because that is the government and the rental is minimal. We will utilize that unless somebody would offer a good building for us, so we will accept it. But the funding is not for you to spend extravagantly, because they know how also to budget this thing, because you're gonna just present it, but you need $1 million for what? So break that down. Why you need $1 million? That is what Sunny Moros is always barking us. Why Filipinos is not applying for funding? Because they cannot present a project, because only Kabugaw could make a good presentation without even production. But the government is just looking at your presentation. How you will do the presentation, why you need expenses, so you have to break down your expenses, and then if it is worth funding, you get approved. It all depends on the calculation of the treasurer or the person in charge of the funding. So not because you ask for $1 million, or they just give you $1 million. You have to break down why you need $1 million. So that's like what the Cheese Club. They said, could we have the funding? So for funding for what? Because you need money to put into your bank. And then it will disappear just like that without even presentation where it goes. So the government is also watching for that, because you make it for the government once, but that will be the end, because the auditor will be coming to your books and examine where this money goes. So likewise, I'm very proud of that heritage, because nobody is interested about money. Because all the seniors are happy, because all they need is just for them, their activities will be done, and they're laughing and exchanging ideas once in a while. So that's good enough. Like we have this afternoon, Norberto was there. The Zoom activities is really interest them, because for the first time in their life that we have this, of course, because this is just introduced 3 years ago or 2 years ago. So that's how it is. So we have to avail ourselves to the modern techniques that are happening in our world, modern world. So we have to up-to-date ourselves. So speaking of funding, because Filipinos are really very hot when it comes to money, but money is there. Make your presentation. Prove that you need it. Okay, I have to acknowledge Joy 29. Okay, Yumi Yang channel. Yumi Jing channel. Okay, yeah. How are you? Okay, you may come in if you have something to say. Okay. If you want to share something, please acknowledge your kababayan. If you care for conversation, exchange ideas, or knowing each other, or how's the weather there if you are not in North America. So that's how it is, because one important thing is communication, because you could only get funding because, okay, you have these ideas of a bigger project, but you don't know how to put that in the paper, because you cannot get funding by talking, I need money, because you have to present that in writing. You have to present it in the TV if there is a need, in the video if you have to do it. That is good presentation. In the functions, they use this manual or videos to present in order to make the point of every project that is needed. It has to be explained to to the finance officers. So that's how it is. So I know that some have the ideas but cannot relay. They cannot communicate. So there is always a way if you really have a good project. Like Sanimura said, if they don't know how to make their own presentation, if they cannot make their own request, he is there to assess. All you have to do, present that you have these ideas, but you cannot put that in pictures, you cannot put that in writing. So, there's
Okay. So ano pang
if you are interested.
ano pang iba na balita doon sa meeting ninyo?
Sa
Heritage.
heritage,
Yes. Ano pang
because the heritage people are just contented and they are not aspiring so much, and everybody is happy what they say. So there's no problem, because if you are satisfied, you don't need a million to be happy. Because if you are an ordinary man, ordinary things will make you happy, but you have big dreams to satisfy you. So no matter how much you have to be on hand, still you will still be dreaming of big ones. So that means satisfaction is not on your vocabulary. So
ano pang fruitful na nangyari kanina sa conference ninyo?
okay, said Proton. Actually, because we have this project, and because what Al have said, maybe we need a big screen or to accommodate 50 people during the presentation. But maybe we need some funding, so we have to present that. And here comes our guest, Mervin Rutan. He already pledged $400 or $500. So that's a good start. Some politician, because we are just looking for to brainstorming about the project. So because any project is in need of funding in order to materialize the presentation. So, but
Okay. So kagaya ng alam natin na yung mga association ay lalapit at magbibigay ng kanilang project. May lumapit ba? May nagbigay ba ng proposal this time na nangimbita ba kayo?
Kasi ang ugali natin ng Pilipino, actually, walang lumapit.
Walang lumapit. Walang nag-present.
One good example, ang Philippine independence, nakakuha yan regular already, unlike the President Sanayon, because they have presented a good CEO already. They have a good project, which is which is very effective. That's for give added to a multicultural contributions. Likewise, the parade is also funding, because they have to make a good report. So
sa heritage ngayon, itong taon, itong anniversary niyo, may nag-come forward na ba na association na magbibigay ng kanyang presentation?
Yes. In fact, even Ottawa, like
Yung local natin, yung mga local na association natin na sobrang dami na.
Of course, the Panday Tinig is one diehard supporter of the Federation of Mazoni, and what else? Of course, the Kahirop, because of are giving the special number and contributions, and of course, the tennis, we are supporting also that, because they come for help, and because they are helping also the celebration, because an organization, they need also manpower, because you cannot just a voluntary work.
Nag-ano na ba kayo, Tata Bert? Nagpadala na ba kayo ng invitation sa mga association kung sino
Yes,
gustong sumali?
already, yes.
Walang reply o may reply?
Yeah, because unless it's dollar sign, they will reply because it's a hard work.
Sino-sino yung pinadalhan nyo ng invitation?
That is the list of naka-abdo ng the list because
Okay.
the list was forwarded. So
Okay.
because that's
Wala
one
pa
of
nag-reply.
the
Walang nag-commit.
because somehow replies like Ottawa has because we're expanding the presentation. So Ottawa has promised that they will contribute the balagtasan
Okay.
and whatever cultural projects. So the Igorot have make the presentation will contribute a presentation. So everyone those are interested. You cannot grab their activities if it's for their own. So whatever they would like to contribute to present to the community, we'll accept it because it's everybody knows already. Because this is the third year of the organization. So far so good because this I was joking this afternoon. I said when the treasurer announced the money that we have in our coffer. So I said that could be dangerous because any organization has the money will soon break up. So everybody laughed. Because when it comes to money, everybody knows how to handle. So it could be always placed in the good hands. So hopefully the money will just be enough for maintenance and circulation that you have to work before you spend. Not some officers of farmers that they are complaining because there was no money, they could not do anything. But organization, you have to work for the organization, not the organization will pay you to work. That's why when you join organization, they should know that what they are getting into. Just what you said last time, that Knights of Rizal, a member of Knights of Rizal, when you ask them what organization that they were swearing in, and they said they are Knights of Columbus. You see, that's maybe a laughing stock, but it's not his fault because the organizing just grab them and so long as you know how to drink, so you're in. So maybe that is not the real fact, but for a joke, maybe you could say that. So of course, the organizer will not accept that, but it happens as experience, not only one time, but several times. One good example, when we were being a delegate, Knights of Rizal Montreal delegation going to attend the conference or a function in the United States, and we were crossing the border, and the immigration officer asked, "Who are you?" They said, "We're Knights of Rizal." Why? Where are you going? We are attending to the convention in the United States International Convention. So the officers, since doesn't know about Knights of Rizal, he prone to ask, what is Knights of Rizal? So it's so sad that the correct answer was not given thoroughly. So, but that's how it is. So I'm suggesting that there should be a conference or lectures to be done, not because you are already sworn in, you are fully member. Not only Knights of Rizal, even farmers. Most officers didn't know even what is farmers. They don't even know what the objectives of farmers. Like other people, they think that farmers is a funding institution. Farmers, they think it's just like Red Cross. Farmers, they think it's the World Health Organization that when somebody is in need, they go to farmers and they get the funding. No, farmers is just an ordinary organization that needed help from the members. Farmers cannot function without the member. So it is the membership's help that
Ito,
farmers
Bert,
has to survive.
say hello muna sa mga bisita mo.
Yeah.
Ma'am
Oh,
Malu
yeah.
Bailey, na taga-US.
Okay, Bailey.
Malu Bailey.
Oh, Malo Bailey. Oh,
Yeah. Nanalo ba daw kayo? Nanalo ba daw kayo sa bingo?
This afternoon, I was not able to join the bingo because after
Kagabi.
Kagabi, hindi na ako umabol ng bingo. Nantok na ako.
Okay. Andyan si si Jinky Pirolin, say hello. Andyan si Lucio Bob, shout
Jinky
out daw.
Pirolin. Okay. Thanks
Andyan
sa
si Marco Midis.
Jinky Pirolin, Esperanza Verentritis.
Andyan si Nicky
Barako,
Roll.
you are a very good friend and you are the life of my existence here and here. Ibigay sa anak niyo ang Lord ko lang. Maybe this is personal. So,
andyan si Marco Midis. Thumbs up na daw. Andyan si Nicky Roll. Andyan si Jimmy Norca.
Thank you everybody and
Sabihin mo, shout out mo lahat sila.
Yeah. Okay. Esperanza Verentes, Kapimbarako, Malobeli, of course, what is it? Of course, Tresan is you. So, thank you everybody and sorry that Abdon and Heritage they promised this afternoon that we'll be during the conversation tonight, but like Ami Manonog said, 9 o'clock is her bedtime because being young, so 9 o'clock is already late for them.
Okay.
So, but Abdon said, if you cannot join the live, you could always open the Zoom because all episode is there.
YouTube.
I think, I will have to thank is that Emil Manera. He compiled all these episodes and
Yes.
put it again on the Zoom again, and anybody who missed the evening show can always go back to what episode
Nasa channel mo or nasa bahay mo lahat ng episode, available anytime.
Yeah, that
Ang
is
pangalan ng bahay mo is Alberto.
actually yes, because I received a message from Guam, my nephews and brothers there, because they are not up to date of the time the being class, but they could always open the video anytime they want. It's always there because I'm glad how this YouTube is doing it. It's a great help for the communications of these establishments.
Si Elmer, hindi mo na kumbinsi na sumama at umakyat sa bahay mo at kwentuhan?
Because Elmer is just only an audience because he doesn't even want to talk. he could smile, but he is not even participating. And this, unlike Fredo, that even he is nakipagdebate kay Duterte sa TV. Okay. Sabi ko nga, kahit anong bumurahin mo man sa TV, si Duterte hindi ka marinig. So just
so
like
ngayon si Fredo hindi na officer, anong niya ngayon? Anong pinagkakaabalahan?
Active siya sa siyempre active na sa nice result sa McKinsey chapter. Pero mabalak siya na kung tatakbo si Joseph o si Cura sa presidency, lalabanan niya.
Lalabanan niya. Lalaban siya pagka-presidente. So yan ang plano, yan ang exclusive news. Si Fredo tatakbo na pagka-presidente sa PAMAS.
Ang presidente, hindi na kailangan na marunong. Ang importante sa Pilipino, masipag, tama niyo. Kasi ang
masipag
mga
siya, di ba?
Ang delikado ang mamarunong. Kasi ang marunong, madaling gumawa ng milagro pag marunong. Pero kung ang sipag lang ang gamitin mo, ikabubuti pa ng asosasyon.
Okay.
Kasi ang marunong delikado. One good example, Marcos is very masyadong marunong kaya maraming nagawang milagro. Pero ang mga maraming kay magsaysay, ordinaryong tao, pero minahal ng tao dahil sa sipag niya. Kaya nga, sa organisasyon natin, not necessary na marunong. Importante, masipag at ginagampanan ang tungkulin. Ang importante, alam mo ang pinapasukan mo na pag nanalo ka, magtatrabaho ka pa rin.
Anong klaseng sipag? Masipag magpainom? Masipag magluto? Masipag maglinis? Anong klaseng sipag?
Ginagampanan ng obligasyon ng tungkulin niya. Kasi alam ng tao ng mga kandidato na tumakbo bilang halimbawa maging external vice president ka. Dapat alam mo kung ano ang bagay sa external vice president. Kasi at saka kahit na anong titulo mo bilang volunteer, ang trabaho ng manual na gagawin sa organization mo, mag-participate ka, hindi dahil sa vice president ka, hindi dahil sa presidente ka, taga-utos ka. Pare-parehas kayo, kahit anong rangko nyo, parehas lang kayo.
Akala ko yung vice president ay taga-utos pag wala yung presidente.
Sinong utusan mo? Kasi sa organization, utos mo, gawin mo. Kasi hindi pwedeng ninyo. No. Kaya yan ang dapat bago ka pumasok sa organization. Alam mo ang obligasyon mo. Alam mo na kaya ka pumasok yan, nakahanda kang gagampanan mo ang tungkulin mo. Hindi dahil sa pag makaiwas ka kung may obligasyon ang organization. Yan nga sa sinasabi sa take-over. Tutuparin ko ang tungkulin ko ng buong katapatan at walang hangaring umiwas sa aking tungkulin. Yan ang last word ng office mo. Pero yan ay sa papel lang. Hindi naman sinusunod. Kasi una-una, ang katauran niya nila, nagkumpanya ako ng turo-turo para makakuha ng boto. Na may contribution ka pa para panggastos, para papakain during election time. At kung minsan may kaibigan mang sinabi mong boboto, walang pambayad sa pang-registration, so abono ka para makakuha ng boto. Hindi binili yun Pero it's good for farmers. Kasi otherwise, kung walang magtagabayad ng membership niya, walang income ang farmers at walang boboto. So, kasi sinanay ng kandidato ang mga tao. Kaya nga, sa halagang $5 for the next 2 years, hindi makapagbitiw. Pero, lucky na sarado ngayon ang casino. Otherwise,
hindi casino tawag dyan. Anong tawag mo dyan? Tinatanong ni Ma'am Malubili. Anong tawag mo? Anong tawag mo? Anong code name? Anong code name ng pinupuntahan mo palagi? Doon? Anong code name?
Code name? Hindi.
Code name. Doon sa pinagkukunan mo ng kung saan ka nagwi-withdraw. Anong code name mo doon?
ATM?
Hindi. Yung malaking ano doon, yun doon sa ano. Kalimutan mo na yung code name kung saan ka kumukuha ng allowance. Sa malaking bahay.
Malaki ba? Well, you could call it any name, but
Kung sarado, bukas naman sila ah.
kaya by appointment wala. Only,
Ilang beses ka na nagpunta? Ilang beses ka nagpa-appointment at nagpunta ngayon? Itong COVID.
mula dumating ako dito, last July, minsan lang nung July pa, otherwise hindi na ako.
Binisita mo sila.
Yeah, curiosity. Pero it's not fun as
Nasahuran ka ba?
kasi importante sa pagpunta mo riyan, wala kang pera. Kasi pag may pera ka, tiyak na talo ka.
Oh.
Just go for fun, for pastime, because that is good for seniors. Kasi mga seniors, walang pera.
Paano yung ano?
They need an outlet, they need to pass the time.
Yung umaasa na magpa-trip doon sa US, sarado ngayon. Wala silang income ngayon.
Of course, not only hindi lang sila, halos lahat. Pero, it's lucky. Okay, one good example. Nakasave sila. Maraming savings na ngayon. Kasi lalo yung mga walang pamilya. So it just stuck there because how much you can consume of your salary, of your pension. So may pera. So lucky yung may pinapadalhan kasi at least anin mong pera mo. Yeah. So papadala mo na at least pakinabagan ng mga apo mo, mga kamag-anak mo. This is good. And you feel happy. Mas happy ka pa kaysa dalhin mo sa casino and spend it for 3 hours, everything is gone. Kaya lalo mga taong gusto tumbahin.
Sa Guam, may casino ba sa Guam?
Kasi sa Guam, walang casino, sabong.
Sabong lang meron doon?
Mayroon din small gambling pero it's not that big. Kaya mapunta sila dito sa mainland kasi maraming at least maraming recreational naman sila ron. May bingo. Actually, doon, maganda ron bilang seniors doon, every time mag-uwi ako ron. Every week, Monday to Friday, may libre ang lunch. Pero ang lunch, we started at 10 o'clock in the morning. From 10 o'clock to 12, may bingo kami. May bingo. So, pag umpisa mo, wala kayong pera. So, bibigyan kayo tag $50. Mag-bingo kayo. So, ang winning mo iyo. Pag talo ka, that's it. Gusto mo magpapatuloy ng bingo, so pull out your wallet.
Pero Tata Bert, maganda mangisda sa Guam. Maraming isda.
Oh, yeah. Kasi ang luwag ng ocean pero travel kami ng speedboat ng apo ko.
Imbitahin mo lahat ng nanonood na maganda mangisda sa Guam.
2 hours na trip bago, hindi mo na makita ang island. So, bago ka maghinto kasi hanap ka ng mababaw. Kasi siyempre, ocean yun, may mababaw, may malalim. So, doon hanap ka kasi ang mga isda doon sa mga corals, it's very good. Actually, Pilipinas, marami rin. Kasi fishing ako doon sa Zamboanga. Ang dami, biro mong
ihanda mo yung mga picture mo bukas at ipakita natin sa kanila yung mga trip mo. Lagay mo sa isang folder.
Hanapin ko.
Para pakita natin yung mga isda. Maraming isda doon. Kasi maraming nangingisda dito eh. Oo. Pero walang banana doon.
Isda dito. Nung araw na preparation kami sa Salika, ibang lasa. Nung araw. Kahit na dito sa Montreal, pero pupunta kami ng 10 hours trip hanggang Gaspe para sa ocean lang. Alis kami rito Biyernes ng umaga.
Saan nga
Ano,
tayo
gabi.
nagpipishing sa US nung Tata Bert? Yung marami ding umaga pa lang may nakaupo na sa tabi. Saan nga yon?
Actually dyan sa New Jersey at saka sa New York kasi
Hindi, yung
sa
pinuntahan
New York,
natin noon.
sa New York naman
Popoy.
sasakay ka sa sa fishing trip ng mga 50 kayo, kay daling kayo sa gitna.
Hindi, saan ba yun, Tata Bert? Saan yun? Yung doon, yung sa tabi ng Boston, saan yun?
Sa Boston mismo mayroon din.
Hindi,
Nagpipishing.
pinuntahan natin noon, yung may beach doon na madaling araw pa lang, may umaga pa lang. May...
Sa anong state yun? Between Maine and Maine and Boston. Nakalimutan ang pangalan na
Okay.
state.
Sige, bukas, ihanda mo yung mga picture mo at pakita natin sa kanila yung trip mo.
Okay. Pero marami sa YouTube na fishing, mas maganda.
Hindi, yung iyo, yung pakita mo yung isda mo.
Mga pictures ko, so ang dami. Okay, so sabihin ko sa apo ko. Okay, good night. Thank you everybody. At saka maraming salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay. At saka sana, huwag naman kayong mahiya. Makipaghalo naman kayo. I-share naman niyo sa amin ang inyong mga experiences, mga kwento, kung anong babatiin nyo. Anything goes. We have to exchange ideas, exchange pleasantries, and we have to laugh together. That is the food for thought that will be interesting and very lightening to our heart and soul for us to survive healthy and happy. Good night, everybody, and see you again tomorrow. Be ready. Maraming salamat. Mabuhay!
Thank you.